Hi, my name's Sean Lee-Davies and welcome to TYCOON Talk. This week, I'm spending some downtime with Cecil Chao, the flamboyant founder and chairman of Cheuk Nang Holdings. Hong Kong is one of the wealthiest cities on the planet. I'm on a journey to meet the most successful business leaders who can inspire a new generation of entrepreneurs to help our city remain truly world-class. I also want to get behind the public persona and find out their secrets for extreme success. Never far from the media spotlight, Cecil Chow is probably one of Hong Kong's most flamboyant tycoons. He's the billionaire founder and executive chairman of property development company Cheuk Nang Holdings, and he's also known for his love of the good life. Cecil is the son of TY Chao, the founder of Wah Kwong Shipping. Although he didn't follow his father into the shipping business, Cecil turned a passion for architecture into a very profitable real estate development company, enabling him to indulge his billionaire lifestyle. But first, back to the beginning. I sit down with Cecil at his expansive 16,000 square foot mansion in Pok Phalam, the eponymously named Villa Cecil, also known as Happy Lodge. Now, the family business, Wah Kwong, was about shipping.
Yeah.
Why didn't you go into the family business, and why did you set out on your own?
When I was young, I always liked drawing and I liked design, I liked the arts. So I always decided I want to do something which got to do with the art. I thought with the love of drawing and arts was considering what sort of career I want to be involved with. So, of course, architect has business, construction, art combined together, which is a good education and useful to set up my career. Then I thought, if I want to be more involved in business to make extra buck, so maybe real estate is something close to architect. I've been working side to side. I love to be an architect. In the meantime, I spend 70% of my time on the real estate. So this is a combination of my life as an architect, as a developer for the last 50 years.
How important was your education in architecture?
Education in architecture is most important in my life. I won't be going into property business because my family is in shipping. Because my education as an architect, so I moved into the property business. My last 50 years career is all in real estate.
But why did you not become an architect instead of a business or real estate developer?
Architects is the education and it's the work I love to do. And then business helped me to build up my career.
Do you think you would have been as rich if you had stayed an architect?
The answer is no. I mean, architecture gives you emotionally satisfying, and real estate development gives you bread and butter.
While Cecil didn't go into the family shipping business, he quickly realized his passion for architecture wasn't going to generate the income and lifestyle he desired. Cecil graduated from the University of Durham in 1963 with an honors degree in architecture. Returning to Hong Kong, he worked in the government building department and architectural office from 1964 to 1966. In 1974, he founded his first property development company, Wah Kwong Properties, leveraging his father's connections to some of Hong Kong's biggest property tycoons at the time. In 1988, Cecil acquired a company called Far East Wool and Fibre Mill, changed its name to Cheuk Nang, and took the company public on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. In 2004, Cecil was a recipient of the World Outstanding Chinese Award. Do you think that your developments are architecturally sound and interesting, or have you always maximized profit?
In Hong Kong, you have no choice. I mean, when you buy a piece of land, you always have to, according to what the government asks you to do, what the maximum plot ratio and the heights, limits, coverage, and everything. It's the best way to make an investment successful.
And do you have a development that you're particularly proud of in your own portfolio?
I built few of good things in China, just completed. One in Shenzhen, one in Hangzhou. There's Cecil residences in Kuala Lumpur and in Macau. #1 Kota Street is coming up, which quite a sizable development with hotel, shopping mall, and residence. But in Hong Kong, because of limited area of land, limited of the size of the project, we have never done anything I particularly like.
Whatever Cecil thinks of his project, his company seems to do pretty well, raking in a net profit of almost $400 million in 2014. Let's talk about succession. 50 years that you've been working in your professional life. Are there any plans for succession in Cheuk Nang?
I put lots of hope on Gigi, my daughter. I hope she can work harder, and I'm trying to get her to learn everything that in my life, what I've been gone through. She will start with relatively easier than what I did, because we have already set up a strong foundation for her. It's up to her to work harder, and I think she gradually will catch up.
Gigi is now vice chairman of the company and works alongside her father on a daily basis. She joins us at Villa Cecil. We were just talking with your father, Cecil, and he was talking about the succession plan. He says that you still have a lot to learn, but he hopes that one day you will take the helm of the company. Do you feel that that's quite a daunting challenge for you, or are you up to the task?
It's certainly a positive challenge. I mean, it's, life's not interesting unless there's a good slew of challenges in the way, and I think Cheuk Nang is Daddy's baby and it's his empire, and I'm very happy to stand at his side to help him run the company and learn the ropes of the trade.
Cecil mentioned that he always dreamed of being a businessman and tycoon, and he's fulfilled those dreams. Did you dream of being a real estate developer and a successful property businesswoman?
To be honest, I think since a young age, Daddy has dreamed my dream for me as well. Daddy, when I was very young, he requested that I studied architecture and go to England to go to university. But, Daddy's given me a lot of guidance and nudged me in the right direction.
What makes your father an exceptional businessman?
Oh, lots of things. I think he's a very shrewd businessman. His perception of what works in the market is very acute. And he also has a clear vision of what he wants to do with the company. And, he has a sort of take no prisoners approach to how he does the business. I think that's something he's makes him very different in the marketplace.
Can you explain that, Cecil, when she says your take no prisoners kind of approach? What does that mean?
I am a very straightforward person, and we do everything very practically.
There's a Chinese proverb that the first generation makes the money, the second generation maintains it, the third generation loses it. Is that going to apply to you?
I hope you carry on, but I let Gigi to work harder and pass on.
Do you think that women now can really step up and be in charge of such giant corporations and do it successfully, or even more successfully than your male predecessors?
I don't know about more or less successful. I think for women, one of the advantages is the communication, and we're naturally apt communicators, and we tend to love kind of connecting. And I think that's an increasingly important part of business.
You're very much alpha male. It's very much a male company. Do you think that women can be as successful in running your business as you were?
Well, absolutely. There's no distinguished line between the man and woman. Whoever is capable of doing things, I mean, the sex is a thing to do with abilities.
Join me in part 2 as Cecil invites me onto his luxury yacht, and Gigi joins us later, arriving in style. And they talk about their relationship since Cecil's now infamous $500 million marriage bounty, as well as the future of the company. Welcome back to Tycoon Talk. I'm spending some downtime with flamboyant real estate tycoon Cecil Chow. Born into a wealthy family, the son of shipping magnate TY Chao, Cecil decided to create his own fame and fortune by growing the company he founded into a multi-billion-dollar property empire. Along the way, he's also gained notoriety for his bon vivant lifestyle. Cecil has invited me on board his luxury yacht, so I'm heading over to the south side of the island. That was interesting meeting Cecil at Villa Cecil. He's not what you would expect from his public persona. He's actually quite charming and easygoing. In the press, he's often portrayed as a playboy, woman-loving personality. Like all tycoons, he has his way of enjoying himself. And Cecil's very much about the big cars, the big boats, and in his case, the helicopters. So we're now going to go and see Cecil relaxing on his yacht. On arrival, I'm surprised to find not one, but two luxury yachts. I climb aboard the older Happy Sea Lodge, moored alongside Cecil's new purchase, a 50-meter super yacht named Braveheart. It seems the perfect setting to ask Cecil about his illustrious career. You've had a very successful career. Do you have any regrets?
Very little, any regrets. Everybody must have some. One or two things.
But mostly pretty good.
Mostly pretty good. And 95% good.
95%. You pretty much fulfilled all the dreams that you had when you were younger.
Yeah.
Not many people get to say that. And so you're very lucky in that respect.
No, very lucky, yeah, very lucky. But you work on it, you work very hard to that.
Lucky he may be, but Cecil has always stuck to what he knows best. His top 3 tips for success are willpower. If you're going to start a business, you need determination to keep going through the tough times as well as the good times. Hard work. Cecil may play hard, but he's also worked hard to build the company to where it is today. There's no substitute for hard work. And finally, trust yourself. If you believe in a business concept or venture, stick at it. Don't take no for an answer and never compromise. Cecil, of course, also has advice for staying young and happy.
There's 3 secrets. Number 1, very easy. You do plenty of exercise. I play basketball, golf, swimming, water skiing, all kinds of things. 2, you must keep your mind happy all the time. If any distress, you don't carry over to your bed. You want to forget about it, and next morning you feel different. But number 3, not everybody can do it. You want to know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have young girlfriends.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. So you need to keep youthful by surrounding yourself by youthful people.
Yeah. 3 great secret to keep young.
I mean, some people would say that you've really had way too many girlfriends in your life. What would you say to them?
Never enough.
So you don't care about the conservative people or the people who say,
whatever makes me happy. I mean, this is one of the things makes me happy. Yeah. The good thing, I don't have to work for government, or I don't have to be employed by other people. Otherwise, that could be a handicap.
Right. You have the ultimate freedom at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
That's important.
Freedom, important, yeah. In terms of romance or like settling down, you've never wanted to have a wife or settle down for good?
I think it's very difficult to have a wife in Hong Kong when you become a successful businessman. I mean, the law here follows British law. If you get divorced, it's not only you yourself. I mean, you don't want to have some people coming into your company because you're broken marriage. Unless Hong Kong changed to American law, you can have premature, then people can marry 10 times in a life, then that's good.
In the press, you have to confirm this for me, you said before you've been with over 10,000 girlfriends. Is that true?
That's very true. I mean, more. Definitely over 10,000. Your 10,000 girlfriend, definitely. Not 10,000 girl, you all have been to bed. That's not.
And there's no number for you. You just keep going until...
Yeah, you do whatever you feel happy. I mean, someday you like to golf with your men friends, it's fine. But other days you want dates your girlfriends, it's a happiness which concerns. and you do whatever you want to do.
Is there ever a time that greedy can be conceived bad? Do you think that sometimes you present too much wealth?
When you're young, you always be more greedy, which is good. Greedy makes good business and make you successful. When you're older, you're not so greedy, but you want to still carry on the business until the last breath. But it's not just for the wealth, it's for carrying on as part of your responsibility towards your staff, your children, the whole society.
When is enough for you?
Nobody is saying enough. I mean, the richest man in the world, you ask Bill Gates, he still want more. Whatever you have, it's just a figure. Eventually, when you pass away, you can't take it away. You have to divide it, quite a bit of it, afterwards to charities.
So you're going to give most of your wealth away when you...
I wouldn't say most, a good portion.
Just then, Cecil's red helicopter arrives and touches down on the upper deck, co-piloted by Gigi. I'm starting to feel like an extra in a James Bond movie. Gigi joins us below. How important is family to you, Cecil? You have a big family. Does family come first or business come first?
Business always comes first. I mean, family is a family, business is business. I don't think we really need to make a connections. Of course, I mean, if they learn something about the company because it belongs to the family, it's good, but business is always business.
Do you have, say, 3 tips for management that you can give Gigi?
One, you must have an aim. That's very important, what you want, where you're going. Second, I think is very important, you must like the business. You have enthusiasm in the business. Otherwise, very difficult for you to confine yourself in a business which you just looking forward to 6 o'clock come back and you want to leave the business, then it's not going to be successful. Yeah. Thirdly, you must technically know the business quite well. That makes some advantages to your competitors. Yeah.
What would be your advice for young up-and-coming female entrepreneurs?
Work damn hard. I think smarts and looks even can get you so far. You just have to work damn hard and you know, just keep going until you get there.
While Gigi may have to work hard in the company, she's still heavily involved in charitable causes. Her Faith in Love Foundation, which she set up in 2008, works to alleviate poverty among the elderly and run educational programs for disadvantaged children. What are your hopes for your future? I mean, obviously you're going to one day perhaps take over the company. Is that in line with your dreams and desires, or is it that you doing this out of patriotic duty or familial duty?
Yeah, familial duty is definitely top of the list. I think most importantly, I want to spend time with my father, and I get to do that, you know, every afternoon in the office. I think that's what I treasure most about this job, for better and for worse, and even when we argue or disagree. In terms of the future, I think there's so much opportunity for areas that we can grow.
Like what, for example?
Even in terms of property, in terms of areas and new projects, I think there's a lot of exciting projects that we've been introduced to. For me, it's more the relationship between Daddy and I that I really treasure, and I hope that goes on and on and on.
Cecil and Gigi seem to have a great father and daughter relationship. It didn't always seem that way, at least to the public. In 2012, a media firestorm erupted after Cecil publicly pledged $500 million to any man who could woo Gigi and marry her, to which Gigi responded with an open letter to her father asking to treat her partner with dignity. Cecil eventually withdrew his offer. Can I ask one question? You may not want to answer it, but would you really have paid $500 million for someone to marry Gigi?
Of course I would.
Really? You could ask me. It's a question of whether she would accept it.
You'll be a rich man.
Your partner is called Sean, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah. Close, but no cigar. We adjourned to the rear deck of the Happy Sea Lodge, and I asked them if all the publicity surrounding Cecil's offer has affected their relationship. Obviously, the recent, media exposure about your bonanza. How did that affect things between you?
No, nothing at all.
I think, if anything, it brought us closer.
Yeah.
It got us opportunity to talk about awkward things and still let the relationship survive and become stronger.
Right. So you feel that you can both be very frank and candid with each other.
Yeah, sure.
That's the idea.
So he was a good dad.
If you think otherwise, please tell us.
Well, no, I'm just an observer. Is she a good daughter?
No. No.
Was she naughty when she was growing up?
All the time.
Oh, well, I mean, everybody's young. They have done some naughty things, but she's a good girl.
But so he was a good daddy?
He's a very special daddy, I think. Yeah. Certainly very unique and one of a kind.
Unique he certainly is. While Cecil jet skis over to admire his new super yacht and Gigi leaves in the helicopter, I'm left pondering the extraordinary life of one of Hong Kong's most enigmatic tycoons. Some years ago, a journalist described Cecil as a man who pursues what he desires with enormous appetite and with no regrets. Today, at 79, Cecil clearly has very few regrets and has no plans to retire. He's built a formidable business that allows him to indulge his billionaire lifestyle, and he continues to live very much by his own rules. Cecil may be a bit of an old-school tycoon, an alpha male living in the fast lane with flashy possessions, but you can't deny his considerable achievements. And I've also been surprised by his candidness and softer side, especially with Gigi. Gigi may carry the family name, but she represents a newer generation with more of a conscientious approach to life and business. Whether she takes the helm of the company and where she takes it remains to be seen. But for now, Cecil is still very much in charge of the ship, and he'll just keep cruising on.